as interest is concerned, particularly kids, is that I've found that the more you learn about your fish, the more you tend to enjoy them. So one thing I really encourage people to do is to subscribe to this YouTube channel and try and randomly watch as many of the videos as you can. Particularly get the kids involved, show them stuff, point out stuff to them, educate them, because within aquarium keeping, there's lots to learn that's really interesting about chemistry, biology, and so forth. And I find when I was a kid, I started keeping fish in grade 5, so I could see the relevance of what I was learning in chemistry and biology and stuff. And when I went to school, I topped music because I'm a rock star, and I did very well in chemistry in the early days. I did very well in biology, and then I was completely useless at anything I wasn't interested in. I was hopeless at maths, I was hopeless at English. So when you get a real world relevance for learning, and you've got an easy way to learn, then that's how you become passionate. So I've been into fish since grade 5, and I've always been interested in fish. But the two things that I do is I always try to keep learning, and I also change my tank around on a semi-regular basis. Otherwise, what I find people do is they get a tank, and at the start they love it, and then after a year or 2 years or whatever, they just get rid of it because they've sort of done it, they've sort of seen it, they've mastered it. Whereas if you keep changing what you got and you keep learning more and more, then there's no reason to ever not be interested, because I view the fish tank as like a DVD player, but the fish are like the DVD. So you do need to change what's in it to maintain your interest, and that's normal. Whereas a lot of people, or particularly parents, will say, oh, little Johnny was really keen on it a while, but he lost interest. Well, I think it's normal for little Johnny to lose interest, because if you're looking at the same thing all the time, you've sort of seen it. So change is king. Just don't ask me for marriage advice. Something else I like to do is just do a little bit of an analysis of the products that anybody has for their aquarium. So let's have a look at what we got here. We've got some KH. Sydney tap water often has a very low KH, so this is something I want everyone to be aware of, because KH tends to fall. And if your KH gets to 0, that can be a major problem. So this is a very important product, and I tend to add this according to what my KH level is, and I'll tend to just add a little bit per water change. And for a tank like this, I try to maintain a KH level of about 4 to 6 DKH. We've also got a little bit of goldfish salt. This is a salt trace element. It's very good for these sorts of fish. It helps their body slime, and it helps their immune system. Now I can actually check the salt, so I'll do that today. And adding a little bit of extra salt sometimes is one of the best things you can do for your fish. It really helps their immune system. So that's like a GH salt mix. So we'll potentially add some of that according to what the level is. And I will add this every time I do a water change, but I will not add it when I'm not doing a water change. Because there's a difference between a water change is when you take water out and put more water in, or a top up is where you just top it up because it evaporated. So you never use this in a top up because the salt doesn't evaporate. You can use a little bit of this in a top up if you've got KH issues, but the thing that you really have to use is this one. So this is Prime. It's a very good product, and this is going to get rid of your chlorines, chloromones. It's going to help body slime. There's a lot of good things that this product is. Now, we've also got this one. So this one's Stability. This is some good bacteria. I prefer this be in the fridge. It supposedly lasts a little bit longer in the fridge. So once you've opened it, chuck it in the fridge. But this is like fertilizing your grass as far as your good bacteria is concerned. Because if we've got good bacteria in our aquarium, then we've got a good, healthy, happy aquarium. If we don't have enough good bacteria, that's when you lose your fish. That's when your algae starts to outcompete for nutrients and all the rest of it. Other than that, we've just got a little cleaning sponge. It's also really important what you clean your tank with. You don't ever want to just get yourself a kitchen sponge and clean out the tank, because there could be chemicals in the sponge that can actually kill your fish, so just be aware of that too. Now, in the old days, everyone used to have their own test kits, whereas I find these days, since the shop has got a spin test machine, nobody really tests their water anymore. and nobody really has test kits. We don't sell many test kits anymore because for a small price, you can bring your water sample to the aquarium shop, and then in 2 minutes, it tells us everything we want to know about the water. And so that seems to be the most popular thing. People will just regularly bring a water sample down, and for a small charge, it gets done as opposed to doing it yourself. So obviously that is an option. Now let's have a quick talk about this. So first of all, we've got first degree fish waste, which is ammonia. Now ammonia is very bad. And at the moment there is ammonia in the water. So see that the way that's green? We want that yellow. So it is detecting ammonia. And ammonia is first degree fish waste. And what we really want is the filter to break down the ammonia. And at the moment, it's not happening effectively enough. Now, admittedly, this is a new tank. So this tank is not biologically stable yet. It takes weeks for a tank to biologically stabilize. So it's not unusual that we're going to have ammonia right now, but we do have to be aware of it. So the filter is supposed to break the ammonia down. I am requesting that we get some marine pure balls and hide them in the aquarium. And I'm also suggesting that the redox potential of this water needs to improve. And the way we improve it is by setting the filter up so it agitates the surface. Because if the water coming out of the filter is higher in oxygen, then the redox potential will go up and therefore the filter will work more effectively. So that's something I want to do today. I want to adjust that. And we're going to clean the filter in water from the fish tank, not water from the tap. Now the ammonia, first degree fish waste, breaks down into nitrite. Nitrite is second degree fish waste. So in this case, we've also got nitrite. So see, that's a purple color. We want light blue. So all these are a bit too pretty. We're not looking for pretty colors at the moment. So there is nitrite. And nitrite also gets broken down by bacteria in the filter. And the marine pure balls will also aid that. And the polyfilter is going to help all of this because the polyfilter is going to help suck all that out. So the other thing that we can do too is we can do water changes to reduce the ammonia and nitrite. We can also reduce the amount of food going in for now. And we can also add cleaner food that's going to help. So less food and cleaner food is going to be a solution right now. More oxygen is going to be a solution right now. Cleaning the filter in tank water, not tap water, that's water we've removed from the tank, is going to help. We can also add some good bacteria. That's going to help establish the bacteria to break these nutrients down. And we can also add a 5 times dose of prime every day or two. And that's actually going to bind up the ammonia and nitrite so the fish don't know it's there. So therefore, this product here can stop ammonia and nitrite being a problem temporarily. But when you're using these products, I recommend that you definitely still do water changes, and also be aware that these products, if overdosed, can synthetically raise your GH level. So if your tank is unstable, I'm really going to say lots of regular water changes until you don't need to be using large volumes of this anymore. I'd rather just use large volumes of this when there's a problem, just to give the fish a bit of relief. But keep up the water changes until you're just using standard doses of this, because we don't want that to artificially raise our GH. At the moment, our GH is not artificially risen because it's under 10 right now, which I'm happy with. Over time, GH tends to raise. So you need to be doing water changes, and during the water changes, we definitely don't want to be adding any other GH specific products, and we definitely don't want to be adding too much water ager. Now, the next thing we've got going on here is the pH. So our pH is very alkaline. That's normal, and most goldfish are very tolerant of very high pH. Now, the reason why the pH is very high is because Sydney tap water tends to be very high, and your KH products tend to raise the pH as well. So that's all pretty normal. And then at the moment, our GH level was about 4. So, sorry, the KH was about 4. So at the moment, our KH level was good. Our pH level was slightly high. Ammonium nitrite, nitrate are really our problems right now. So doing water changes and not buying more fish and not feeding too much is really what we're going to want to do now, and just be a little bit patient. Now, 3 goldfish in this aquarium is what I'm going to say is capacity. I do not want more fish going into this tank. And then over time, as they grow, you might even consider getting rid of one, because Mother Nature will only let you have a certain amount of stock within a tank anyway. Otherwise, she'll knock them off. Because you need to respect Mother Nature's balance. Otherwise, if you don't allow biological balance, then Mother Nature will do that for you by killing some of your fish. Kill some to save some, if you're outside the capacity of the aquarium. Because every aquarium has a capacity, which means Mother Nature lets you put a certain amount of fish into a tank. Otherwise, if you break her rules, bye-bye now.